The qualifying round of the men's hammer, the reigning champion, Sergei Litvinov of the Soviet Union. 29 years old now, and will probably still continue for a few years more, I shouldn't be surprised. Qualifying is 76 meters 50. Shouldn't have any problem with that. Well, it's well clear and almost hits the podium. That's one of the dangers of hammer throwing, that when the hammer lands out of the sector, if anybody had been standing there, they could have had a very nasty surprise. It really is an argument for holding the event when the stadium is relatively empty. Sergei Litvinov, 3 times a world record holder, the winner in Helsinki. Obviously a great stylist, quite a tall man, long pull, but the left shoulder just dropping a little slightly on that left leg, and so a foul throw in the first round. I don't think he'll have any problems qualifying. Let's see how Walter Ciofani gets on, the French champion. 4 turns, releasing perhaps a little early, and hits the sector marker, so it must be very close to 76 meters 50. A slightly different style to Litvinov, coming more or less across the diagonal of the circle, almost curling into the center. Trying to sit back, keep the speed of the hammerhead going, and winding up for this final throw. And it goes out, it's 76 meters 12, so fairly reasonable chance of qualifying. And that was Logan of the United States, the camera cutting to him quickly, around 75 meters. Logan, a very powerfully built man representing the New York Athletic Club, has a weightlifting gym, was 3rd in the World Cup in Canberra, has thrown over 80 meters this year, but far short of that today, and really not delivering from a very sound position, only 74 meters 80.
Curiously, no hammer thrower achieved the qualifying standard of 76.50 in the first round, and here's the defending champion Sergei Litvinov in the second. His first throw was in fact well over that distance, but hooked around to the left, and therefore a no throw, and that's a tremendous throw, well over it, well over 80 meters indeed, and he sets a standard for this competition. A clear favourite for the gold medal, particularly as Yuri Sedik, the great man himself, is having a quiet year this year and is not here in Rome for the World Championships, and that leaves Litvinov out on his own. Sedik and Litvinov have dominated the world of hammer throwing almost for a decade now, and with this terrific throw, Litvinov shows just why he is so supreme at the event. Even though at the end there, note he fell over a little bit to his left-hand side, this throw was 81 meters 70 for 8, by far the best we've seen so far. Great power and great strength. And look at those thighs, the way that he's held low so that he can come up and release the maximum force behind the hammer at the end.
Second round throw for Plamen Minev of Bulgaria. Yeah, a little off balance at the end of the throw, and it falls short of the qualifying distance, perhaps a meter short. Quite a tall man, Minev.
This will in fact begin at 12:40.
Trying to get as much speed behind that hammerhead as possible, but it only goes out to 75 meters 18. And now from Meissen in the German Democratic Republic, Gunther Rodehau, 5th in the World Championships 4 years ago. And again, that lands right on the tape. It should be good enough to qualify. It's just around 76 meters. And Rodehau winding up here for the 4 rotations. Has his special shoes on. Must keep speed but balance on that rotation within the circle. And again, Rodehau away to 76 meters 06. So the only official qualifier, Litvinov, but the next 2, Ciofani and Rodehau, should be all right. This is Angus Cooper of New Zealand, already had 1 foul throw. And that's going away right over the track. If the camera lifts up, we can see that it just missed the camera and just missed that measuring equipment and actually landed on the track, which is really very dangerous, not Cooper's fault. Here's Ralph Haber of the DDR. Slightly off balance at the end, but a very, very comfortable qualifying throw. Well over 79 metres. Now the point of release, we see just keeping his balance, staying in the circle. 79 metres, 46 for Harbour.
And the qualifying standard ought to be okay for him. He's a season's best of 80 metres 74. Some 4 metres ahead of what's needed today. Very fast indeed. And yes, he's the third man to qualify. The West Germans have got a good school of hammer throwers, and this man, Heinz Weiss, has forced himself up into their top trio this year, gaining late selection for the Games, World Student Games silver medalist, and a best of just short of 80 metres. And he too qualifies very nicely, so the two West Germans, Sana and Weiss, through to the final. This is Tibor Geksek of Hungary. And a couple of times he was over 77 metres earlier in the year, though since then he's had to settle. Oh, interesting technique near there, nearly a handstand, but a good throw indeed. Well up to his best. Well, he managed to stay within the circle, though he fell over at the end, and he was rewarded for his efforts with a qualifying throw. Such is the strength of Soviet hammer throwing that this man, Yuri Tam, despite throwing over 80 metres last year, couldn't make their European Championship squad, but he was the world #1 in 1985 when he won the European Cup and the World Cup. And here he shows good form by qualifying with ease for the final. And Yuri Tam, with his colleagues Litvinov and Nikulin, will be hoping for another Soviet clean sweep of the medals. Igor Nikulin, fourth in the World Championships 4 years ago in Helsinki, just short of the qualifying standard on his opening effort. Surely he'll make no mistakes this time. Indeed he doesn't, well clear. And Igor Nikulin joins his teammates Litvinov and Tam as qualifying safely for the hammer final. Ivan Tanev of Bulgaria. And yes, hits the qualifying line, and certainly that, even if it's a centimetre or two short of the 76.50, will surely take him through to the final.
In fact, exactly hitting 76 metres 50, and Tanev becomes the 7th of the qualifiers from Group B.